Welcome to Just Drive It. Today we're starting to work on, as the day ends, this car over here, his car.
Yeah.
So come along with us as we try to get some stuff done on it. Just drive it. Alright, why are we working on the Coronet when I still have a few things that I need to do on, there it is right there, the 68 Fairlane? Well, the main thing is I need to move this car for reasons of my dad needs me to move this car, and there is an engine still sitting there that we pulled out of here before we put the engine in there. It's got the 360 Magnum in it. So in order to get this moved, I need to move this. So some of the stuff that we're actually working on this is we're going to be putting together the front accessory drive. We've got different pieces like idler pulley, power steering. We're going to have to take and do a different hose for that. And we're going to do the conversion that Noah at the Dodge Whisperer, actually, we're going to do the conversion that the Dodge Whisperer did and that Daddy copied. So we're going to copy the copier, I guess is how you could say it, so that we can move this thing. One other thing, we're probably going to have to go to a Holly because the bracket for the carburetor and the kickdown linkage is different. And we got the distributor back there. I got to finish hooking up the HEI module for that. But we got to do a few things here. So what our first step is we're actually going to take this piece here over to the bandsaw, because unlike Duddy, we actually have a bandsaw we can use instead of the Sawzall. Otherwise, I'd be doing the same thing he was. But we're going to cut this off right here. This is going away because even though we're going to move it, it makes contact here, makes contact here. And yeah, we can't have that. So we're keeping the serpentine setup because we technically don't have the proper timing chain cover for the LA or the drives or any of that type of stuff. So that's what we're doing. New battery. And there's still a few things to do. Toasted windshield wiper deal, but it actually works still, believe it or not. But this guy here, there he is. This guy here is actually going to be doing some cutting and some working on his car over the next couple weeks, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, here's our bandsaw. This is where we're going to be cutting it. I was thinking about letting Ian do the cutting, but I got this deciding that I'd rather him not get cut by accident. And I've used this a lot more, so I'm going to end up doing it, but we're going to use this to cut this up. So here we go. Well, as you can see, we got it cut. Yeah, we'll probably do a little bit of sanding right here, get a little bit of the rough edge, make it nice and pretty. But for now, went really fast. But then again, this tool cuts through a lot better than, say, like a Sawzall and some stuff. Okay, what we got now is we had to go do a little bit of scavenging in order to get stuff to where we needed it to be. I had this one on hand. This power steering bracket and this pump is actually off of a pickup truck. It's off of 5.9 Magnum, same as that one. The difference is that's off a van, this is off of a pickup truck. There's actually less space, I guess, in the van, but you'll notice that one sticks you out further than the other. Now, what we found out initially is that when we put this in, it was just hitting right in here. So, y'all want to grab this real quick, please? Alright, to give you an example, this is the pickup truck one. And it's supposed to be hitting right here. But I'm literally hitting right here on this battery tray. It pushes it way too far out. However, with this one, it moves it down, and I no longer have the fitment problems that I had before. So that would be something to keep in mind, especially if you're doing this in an A body. I think you'd even have even less room than what you have in your B body. Go ahead and try to see if you can start that other one right there. Yeah, start that one. Try and see if you can get them started before you start tightening them up.
Got it.
Oop. Now try those others. Going the wrong way.
Oh.
Let's see if this one will go in first. Is it starting now? Yep. Okay. Now you can go through and tighten those down. All right, what we're actually working with right now is I went through and tried several routings of this. Now, we can't do this exactly the way factory would be, because factory would have an AC compressor here. So we had to figure out which way to reroute this thing. And I think we've got a way of doing it. I actually used an old belt off of my Mustang, which granted is not the right belt, because as you can see, well, here it is. So yeah, it is the right belt, but what the deal is we have to go through and figure out what we want to do. Now, I set up the marks on here so that we could take and get it as close to being tight as we could get it, and then I'm going to remove at least another inch. So I'll actually go get a couple belts and try them out to make sure that I've got what I need, but we should be able to get all this in and around. One step closer to getting this thing all working together again. We now have a serpentine belt set up with a belt, and this is the belt. This is what we've got now. What we found is we were unable to get an adapter to go from the 5/8 SAE inverted flare to the O-ring style fittings that the later Magnum engines had, because these Magnum ones are actually a metric thread as well. What we did end up doing is we went down to a company that we have here in nearby town. I want to give a shout out to Capital Bearing in New Braunfels, Texas, for helping me out with this. What we did, as you can see, we checked our fitment first. Then from there, we came over, they cut the hose off. Now, we could have put an angled in on this thing similar to this. However, in order to take and make fitment just a little bit easier and not have to worry about cocking this thing the wrong way when we were crimping it and everything, we chose to go with a straight and then a 90. That way we can position exactly where we need to without any major kinking or anything like that. So this stuff will go on, and we'll effectively have a hose modified in order to fit the Magnum power steering pump with the serpentine pulley to this 67 Coronet.